Hey everybody, Weem here. Welcome to Forsaken Isle. This is a game I ran into recently on itch.io as I was browsing around for games, and I shot a message out to Benji, the developer, and just asked him when this might appear on Greenlight. He had a message, if you were looking at buying the game, that said you would get a Steam key if it arrived on Steam, so I did a quick search and didn't see it on Greenlight. So I just threw that question out, and lo and behold, he actually offered me the download key, which was very kind of him. So anyway, that was quite cool. I got the key, and despite having a little bit of trouble on my end that he helped me kind of walk through, we eventually got there. So I've been playing this quite a bit lately, and it's quite a bit of fun. Now, Forsaken Isle is a wilderness survival game, as it's described over on his site, and it has a focus on crafting and RPG elements. So if that sounds familiar to you, well, that makes sense. That's a lot of what I play around here, so naturally that's what's going to appear here. Now, in Forsaken Isle here, we're playing as a pirate. We've been marooned on a desert island, and we have to gather resources and craft and survive. And we've got not-so-friendly inhabitants, as it says. So we do have a day-night cycle. We got some zombies coming out at night. So far, I don't think any of the creatures that walk around here are a threat to us, but anyway, we've got this world. It's been randomly generated for us. I'm kind of running around here gathering materials, picking up grass, basically knocking things down, picking up anything I can. I was going to say picking up grass, but I don't think I'm actually picking up grass. You can pick up seaweed, which is actually pretty good. For food, it's worth 4. Now down here we've got our meters. You can see we've got we have our health, we have our food meter, we have thirst, which I read was not activated. I've been playing it enough, I should know this already, but that doesn't go down. But yeah, and then we've kind of got this guy here, and this isn't like our temperature, obviously. We're not at 100% of our body temperature, but it's kind of our, I'm not sure the exact term that he's using for this, but it kind of lets us know how we are in the environment. For example, if we leave light and we go out into the darkness, this comes down. I think if we're out in the water, it starts to come down, those kinds of things. So you have to, it's kind of an environmental factor that we have to keep an eye out for. Now, right now, like I said, I'm just kind of running around gathering things. I'd actually like to pick up more sticks. Here we go. Those are pretty important, and you do end up eating quite a bit. A lot of these things we're picking up, as you mouse over, it says +2 there, usable +2. That means it's going to heal up 2 percentage points, so it goes pretty quick. You can see it kind of ticking down one at a time. So I'm going to gather up some sticks and a couple other materials, and we're going to find a place to settle down. And what I'll be looking for is kind of a flat area, a grassland area, kind of like this actually. It's not too bad. And we're going to need to build some tools, and that's where the sticks are coming in handy, and these guys here, the flint. And the third part we're going to need for that is rope, and we get that from fibers. In fact, here's what fiber looks like. Fibers. You can actually make more fibers from bark as well, but we can't chop trees till we get an axe made. So one of the things I want to do is kind of find, I believe, I actually don't know this for sure, but I believe the world is restricted. It is randomly generated, but it is one big island, so there's a limitation to how far you can explore. You'll basically hit the edge of the water and you can't go any further. Now the light blue water we can actually run through here. It does slow us down. But then there is a darker, like a deeper ocean area. We can't pass that. So now when you die, you actually randomly appear. Every time you die, it's a different location that you appear in. And so it's very easy, I have found, it's very easy to get lost. So part of me is thinking that I want to find a place to set up a shelter that's near maybe an edge of the world, so that no matter where I start, I know, okay, I'm just going to keep running to the right. I'm going to keep running east until I hit the edge of the world. But then again, that's pretty far to travel if you end up respawning on another side of the island. So let's see, what do we have up here? Actually, let's grab this seaweed. Seaweed is great. It's worth 4 percentage points each, food-wise. Okay, so the game right now, I mentioned that it has a randomly generated island here. It has a crafting system. There's over 200 items. And there's a lot of updates coming. I'm kind of looking over the features of the game right now. And we can actually go underground here. Let me show you that real quick. We'll right-click this, and it kind of goes into this underground like area, which is pretty cool. This is where we'll actually get some copper and iron and stuff, but let's head back up. So those are kind of the features of the game as it currently stands. There's going to be a lot of updates coming. Benji actually mentioned to me that he's aiming for weekly updates, so there's always going to be things to look for. Now, one of the things, of course, when I say that, it should be pretty obvious, but I do want to mention that this is early access, so there are more things coming for the game, and we may run into some issues. I must say, though, I've played the game for quite a bit so far and have not run into any problems, but that is definitely something to consider. So you've got a rock wall here. You can actually dig into this with a pick. It's very slow going, and you do get rock, but it is dark, and we should probably settle down at some point. So this is where we can hit E and jump into our inventory. We can throw things over here, and it can show us what we can do with them. So I can make carrot seeds with this. That's kind of a good thing to do once we have a place to settle down. But let's go ahead and stick this stuff in here, make some rope, and then we'll bring some stone over. So we can make a hammer. This helps us make some other stuff later. We can make a sword as well. What I wanted to do was actually get flint in here. There we go. So we can do this. We can do this campfire. Now I'm trying to think. I think you actually have to have. Is it coal to do the fire pit? The fireplace is actually a temporary thing, and you'll see these ×1. These are just moving back into my inventory from the crafting space. So let's go ahead and put this campfire down. And you can see when we're on a placeable, it actually puts a hammer on the ground. We can just right-click it. There we go. So you can see our environmental meter here is creeping back up, which is cool. So what we're going to do is, well, I was going to say we might be fending off some some attackers. Let's see if we can throw this in here, this in here. Oh, right. We need the actual stone rope, something like that. So if I mouse over the... let's do the spear, actually. It's 2 sticks, a cord, and a flint. Let's do that. There we go. Now, one cool thing to note, when you make the tools, the picks and axe and everything, they have a durability, they'll break down. But what I noticed is that with the weapons, that's not the case. So that's kind of cool. We don't have to worry about that too much. Bring it in here. Cut you down. There we go. We'll take these ones out, too, because they're getting a little too close to us here. Try to get him stuck on that sugar cane. So I can fight him one at a time. There we go. We'll pick up the bone. We'll break this stuff down. There we go. Sugar cane. Okay, so I ran around and picked up a number of things in the nearby area, and just now had to put another campfire down. We are getting a little bit lighter here. One of the things I want to note is up at the top left you can see it says F1 lights true. You can actually hit F1 and make it so that it's always light out. The thing to note is that there still is the day-night cycle. The zombies will appear. You just won't see, you won't have that fog, that dark fog over everything at night. So that's one way to go. I did play that way for a bit last night. So what I want to do is show you, now that I've gathered up a couple things, we're going to actually right-click the campfire, and you can now see we have the campfire icon here. So when we put things in like this, normally when we just jumped into our inventory, we could only do the carrot seeds, but now that we're on the fire, we can actually do the roasted carrot. So we can put that up there. You can see that's worth 6 now. That's cool. And another thing to note is, although we are in the fire, it's still going to show us what we can normally do through our inventory, since that's essentially open. So we can gather this guy here, the pineapple crown, which allows us to plant it. But we can also gather up the food here, which we'll do for the rest. And we'll cook the cherries up as well. So we're doing pretty good here on food now, and we can actually just scroll here and then just start right-clicking. Although we were pretty low, so we're going to eat quite a bit. Okay, so then the exploring begins once again. Now, again, I kind of like the idea of finding a place to settle down that was maybe near the edge of the world, so that if we respawned, we kind of knew where we were approximately. Now, right here, I'm kind of thinking we're in maybe the upper leftmost corner. This probably rounds, it looks like it'll go around to the right. So, actually, let's cruise over here. Maybe what we'll do is try to find that upper left-hand corner, kind of the northwesternmost point. That looks like this might actually be it. So let's come down from there. And we do actually have a good chunk of grassland. This is actually probably a pretty good spot for us. Let's do that. We have a number of ways to jump underground. That's cool. So I think that's what we will do here. Let's see. Okay, so we could do another campfire, of course, once we get to nighttime here. And let's jump back into our inventory. I could definitely cook the mushroom. The bones right now make skulls are one of the things you can make, I believe. I don't know that the skulls have any purpose right now. There is a wiki guide that I have glanced at, but I've made a lot of this stuff already. So let's just take a look around. We can't walk through the trees, so that's something to note. You can have to maneuver through those. So we're going to walk around here and grab some sticks. Bust some things down. We have some fiber over here. Fibers! Gather this stuff up. So there are a number of features that Benji does have planned for the future, and of course, you know, looking at this list that he has, I'm sure there's going to be many more things. I'm sure the list is much longer and things change and he'll add new things. But right now, some of the things that are listed are animal livestock, magic, enchanting, native tribes, boats. Boats would be pretty awesome, especially if you have like multiple large islands to move between, maybe even with different biomes. That could be pretty cool. Extra levels and map generation, for example, water diving, underworld. There is this underworld. I think you might be calling it caves though, because then it says dungeons and deeper caves. So anyway, that's kind of cool. Pets, character customizations, a hardcore game mode. That'd be cool. And of course more items. So there's still quite a bit coming for the game, which is pretty exciting. Let's see. Let's get the sticks. We're going to grab the flint and the rope. We have enough. We can probably make one tool with this. So let's see here. Let's see. Let's get an axe because we have so many trees nearby, and that'll let us get logs. That's pretty cool. So we can just go down here and start chopping. And as you can see, my axe is going to get depleted, the durability. One thing to note if you end up playing the game, your tools will degrade simply by standing here swinging. Even if you're not hitting anything, if I hold it, you'll see it goes down. So that's something to consider. You don't want to run around just kind of swinging it wildly. That's how you get hurt. And it's how you damage your tools, apparently. So anyway, keep that in mind. And you can see we're getting not just, we're just getting wood, the logs, but we're getting coconut, we're getting resin, and I think you get fibers occasionally. I could be wrong on that, though. But anyway, our axe is now depleted. We're going to kind of cruise back up here. So what we need to do now is just kind of find a place to settle. We want to make a hoe to dig into the ground so we can plant some of these things, because the replenishable food, that's really what we're after. Food is, in my experience so far, you can see we're down at 24% right now, so we're already getting pretty low. You can pretty quickly go through your food. So setting up a farm is definitely a way to go. Okay, so as you can see, the sun has gone down. I gathered a little bit more materials and I've put together a couple tools. So let's switch over to the flint hoe, and you can see that we can actually dig out the ground here. Now there's some things we can't dig into, for example these plants here, but we can dig these rows in right up to the sand there. And let's see, we'll go ahead and do 2 rows like this. Campfire goes out. Let's see, we need, where'd they go? There's my sticks, there's my flint. We'll do another campfire. And let's do it over here. Okay, back to the digging here. So this will be our farmland on this side. And you can build wood floors and walls, so we'll have a structure. That'll be cool. One of the first things we want to make, though, is a workbench, and that actually takes some logs and cord. That's right, this guy here. So we'll do that. Scroll over to it. Now, let's see, where do we want to put this? We can break this down and move it, so it's not too big of a deal. I'm just trying to think. If we do all of this here, and I do a home, maybe I do the home above it. We could do the tools. Let's see. I think we'll just do a row of them over here. Maybe I'll save this row for another row of like farming, and we'll do it like this. So now we can right click the workbench and work out of it to make some things. Let's see. Let's go ahead and plant things. That definitely is going to help us out here. Let's see. We need some of these seeds, and we can't do anything with the mushroom, but we can plant this guy. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll get the carrots going. And the carrots, when you pick those up, it actually takes the carrot and it drops the seeds, so you have to replant them. This guy, though, the pineapple, it'll kind of spawn, you can pick it up, and then it will, excuse me, it'll grow another one. So you don't have to keep planting that one. We'll just do that one over there. So that's kind of the extent of what we can do. We're going to use the campfire while we can and cook some of this stuff up really quick. I guess that's kind of the only one we're doing right now. Yeah, I was like, have I checked with a shell? I don't know if I've done that before. So let's see, the next thing we want to do is we do have the pick, so we're going to bust down this rock. We're going to move it out of the way. That's cool, our fire disappears. And I think what we'll do now is head down underground and look for some materials like iron, copper. We can also get, there's a couple other interesting things down here. And man, this just dropped us into water. That's not cool. Let's see, we've got something basic here, the rocks. Here we go. I think this is iron. Or coal. That's cool. We want coal. I'm pretty sure that coal is required. Let's see, I gotta try to remember. I think we were over there, so we're back to the east. The coal is required to make a fire pit, if I recall correctly. And it's also used to take iron and make it into the bars. I'll switch to my weapon when picking up just rocks, since my weapon has no durability. We have roots here. Roots actually can be used to make fibers. And it looks like we have a sapphire back here. I think that's what this is. Yep, it's a little hard to see in here in the dark. You can make torches and place those, and as far as I can tell, they don't run out. So that actually might not be a bad idea, especially if we're going to maybe keep coming down here. It can also help us kind of determine where we need to go. Chop you down. Okay, we got a couple things. Let's cruise back up here. One of these. And these kind of match up on the surface as well. If I jump up this one, we'll have another hole over there, that kind of thing. So, yeah, there we go. Let's see here. We've got all kinds of things. There's all kinds of things we can do. One of the things I want to get to is a forge, though. Let's see. Actually, we have to use the workbench. Put the stone in here. And we need 4 coal. Actually, I didn't see if we picked up... We did pick up enough. Awesome. I knew we got some. I just didn't quite recall how many. And we will put that here. Awesome. Now we can do stuff with the iron. I don't think we have enough coal to really do anything. It takes 1. So we could do 2 iron ingots. So that's not a big deal. We'll just hold off on that for now. One of the things I want to make is a basket because we can store things. I was looking at the wiki and it says that there's a crate and everything, but I wasn't able to actually make those. They didn't appear, even though I had everything lined up apparently the way they needed to be. But we can make the basket, and that is, let's see, it was 3 sticks and a cord. Do we have? Yes, we do have a cord. So it doesn't hold a lot, but it's kind of nice because if you die. And you basically, wherever you die, you drop everything. Everything drops. You can get to it. It does lay there for a while. If you as well as like if you chop a tree down and you walk away and leave a material, that'll actually sit there for quite a while. So you can come back and get it later. But what I want to do is I just want to store off the iron. Some of the stuff we're not going to be working with just yet. And I'm not really sure about the shells, so we'll stash those. Okay, that's probably good enough right there. We've got coconut. Let's go ahead and break this down into something edible. So yeah, there we go. We've got a pretty decent start here. Now we can walk around here and bust up the grass. You can see we're actually dying because we're hungry right now. But we can actually run around and break up the grass, and it does give us some of the wheat. Now, unfortunately, as much wheat as we can grow, I was unable to make the flour despite it seemed like I was meeting the requirements. So it's hard to know if that's just not there yet. It's in the wiki, but is not actually fully finished in the game yet. I think I should mention too that the wiki is it's on Wikia. I'm not sure that it's official or anything. I never asked Benji about that, if that was something he set up or not. So that may not be fully up to date. If you end up picking up the game, definitely do keep that in mind. It's quite possible that that is unofficial and not up to date. Okay, but we did pick up some wheat grain, so I can at least kind of show you this guy here. We can actually switch to this and get some of that going. So, like I said, the farm, at least in what I've found, has been pretty important because, again, food, it's rough. It's not impossible. Once you get a garden going and everything, it's not too bad, but it's definitely something you can lose track of pretty quickly because it does move down pretty rapidly. I do like that, though. It's a challenge. It makes it fun. Okay, I've made a lathe during the night, and also went and gathered some more logs and everything. I kind of needed those to make the lathe. So there's a couple other workbenches we can make as well. There's an anvil that requires some iron, and there's a mill that requires some rounded stone. I'm actually not sure how to make the rounded stone. I did look through the wiki trying to figure that one out, and didn't see it on there, so... Anyway, there's a couple more workbenches to make. There's a number more items that we can make as well, and a lot more things to find in general as far as items go. And we've got a whole big island to explore here as well, but I think we're going to call it that. I mostly just wanted to give you guys a quick look at this game because I thought it was very interesting, and I've really been enjoying my time playing it. I actually found that I couldn't stop playing last night. I stayed up very late playing, and just thought I gotta show you guys this because if you guys like what I like, and it sounds like you do, many of you do, you would be very interested in something like this. So definitely check it out. You can see it over on itch.io. Again, the game is called Forsaken Isle. I'll have a link down in the description, so check that out. It is £3 right now. It's $5 US. I think the plan is that the price would likely go up once it gets to a full kind of release state. But as for now, that's its current price. Many updates coming, so definitely check that out. If you guys have any feedback or anything, you can hit up Benji on Twitter at Smoodles. Gotta love that name. So yeah, thanks for stopping in, everybody. I appreciate it. And please do leave me a comment, by the way, if you would like to see me do more episodes of this game, because I'm certainly going to play it more, and there's certainly much more to be seen of the game. So definitely leave me a comment, let me know. You can also leave a like if you enjoyed the video, if it gave you some good info on the game, and especially if you want to see more of this. That's a good indication to me that that is the case. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks again for watching, everybody. I appreciate it, and I'll catch you next time.